Welcome to the Easy Vibes podcast, your escape to calm, uplifting conversations. Whether you're unwinding or recharging, we've got the perfect vibe for you. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it.
Welcome back to the Easy Vibes, everyone. Chloe here, ready to dive into another fantastic episode with my amazing co-host.
And Eden here, equally pumped to be back in your ears. We are so glad you're joining us for another dose of good vibes and lively discussion on the Easy Vibes podcast.
You know, Eden, lately I've been thinking a lot about how we find new music, and there's one platform that just can't be ignored in that conversation.
Oh, I think I know exactly where you're going with this, Chloe. It's the app that's either a musical savior or a sonic menace, depending on who you ask.
Right? Precisely. Today we're tackling a big one. Does TikTok actually help music discovery, or is it secretly ruining it? It's a question that divides music lovers, and honestly, I think we're on opposite sides of the fence on this one.
You know it. I've got strong opinions, and I'm ready to throw down on why I think TikTok is doing more harm than good for our beloved tunes.
Well, I'm ready to counter that because I genuinely believe TikTok is a game changer for artists and listeners alike. So buckle up, Easy Vibes crew, because this is going to be a fun one. All right, Eden, let's kick this off then, because I think you're missing the bigger picture here. My core argument for why TikTok is actually a fantastic tool for music discovery is multifaceted, but let's start with its undeniable power for new and independent artists. Before TikTok, how did unsigned bands or bedroom producers get noticed? It was a long, arduous climb, often requiring industry connections or huge marketing budgets. Now with TikTok, someone can literally record a snippet of their song in their living room, upload it, and if it resonates, it can explode overnight. Think about how many artists we've seen go from obscurity to global recognition just because one of their sounds went viral. It's a level playing field in a way that the music industry has never seen before. It democratizes the whole process, giving a voice to artists who might otherwise never be heard. That's not just helping music discovery, that's revolutionizing it. And it's not just about brand new artists either. Let's talk about the incredible phenomenon of old hits being resurrected. How many times have you heard a song from the 70s, 80s, or 90s suddenly dominating your For You page? Songs that were perhaps forgotten by the mainstream or only known by a niche audience are suddenly being introduced to a whole new generation. My younger cousin, who's barely out of middle school, now knows Fleetwood Mac because of a TikTok trend. It exposes younger listeners to classics they might never have stumbled upon on their own. It brings intergenerational musical appreciation to the forefront, which I think is beautiful. It creates a whole new cultural context for these songs, allowing them to live on and be appreciated in fresh, innovative ways. That's a huge win for music. This isn't just about a 15-second soundbite. It's about the gateway that soundbite provides to the full song, the full album, and the entire discography of an artist. It's a promotional tool unlike any other, bypassing traditional gatekeepers and allowing raw, authentic talent to shine through. The sheer volume of diverse music that's constantly circulating on TikTok means that if you're open to it, your musical horizons can expand exponentially. You're not just stuck with what the radio stations play or what's topping the charts on the streaming services. TikTok introduces you to genres, artists, and sounds from all corners of the world, often presented in a way that feels personal and relatable because it's tied to user-generated content. You're discovering music through real people's experiences, not just through a curated playlist. To me, that's what true music discovery is all about. Finding something new and exciting that genuinely connects with you. And TikTok, in its chaotic, wonderful way, facilitates that connection like nothing else. It's a music mecca, plain and simple.
Okay, Chloe, I hear your passion. I really do. And you paint a very compelling picture of a music utopia. But let's be real, that's like looking at a sparkly, highly filtered Instagram post and thinking that's someone's actual life. My take is that while TikTok might seem like a democratic music mecca on the surface, beneath that glossy veneer, it's actually doing a disservice to music discovery and, frankly, to music itself. You talk about 15-second sound bites being a gateway. I see them as a cage. TikTok's entire culture is built on short attention spans and fleeting trends. A song, an actual artistic creation, is reduced to a disposable 15-second loop. It's not about appreciating the lyrics, the instrumentation, the build-up, the bridge, or the outro. It's about finding that one catchy, often random part that can be looped for a dance challenge or a silly meme. This isn't discovery, it's cannibalization. How many times have you heard a song become incredibly popular on TikTok only to realize that the only part people know is that one specific snippet? The rest of the song, the artist's full vision, is completely irrelevant to the trend. That's not broadening horizons, that's narrowing them to a blink-and-a-miss-it moment. And then there's the oversaturation. You mentioned the sheer volume of diverse music as a positive. I see it as a sonic landfill. Every day, thousands upon thousands of new sounds, new artists, new snippets are uploaded. It's an endless scrolling feed of background noise. How are you supposed to genuinely discover and appreciate anything when you're constantly bombarded with the next viral sensation? It creates a disposable culture where music is consumed and discarded at an alarming rate. Remember when you used to spend time really digging into an album, understanding an artist's narrative? Now it's about whatever fits into the current dance craze. This diminishes the artistic value of music. It prioritizes fleeting virality over genuine appreciation, craftsmanship, or longevity. A song's worth becomes tied to its ability to go viral for a week, not its quality or its ability to resonate deeply with listeners over time. And sure, some old hits get resurrected, as you put it, but often they're stripped of their original context and meaning, becoming nothing more than a soundtrack to a cringe compilation. Is that truly helping music discovery, or is it just trivializing classic art for a quick laugh? I'd argue it's turning masterpieces into memes. It's a TikTok takedown, Chloe, not a triumph.
Okay, Eden, I hear your cynicism, I really do. And I get that it's easy to focus on the negative, the overplayed, the memeified. But let me tell you, for every cringe compilation you see, there are a dozen moments of pure musical serendipity on that app. I'm not talking about just background noise. I'm talking about genuine, add to my permanent playlist kind of discoveries. For instance, I remember scrolling one night totally uninspired by my usual playlists, and I kept hearing this incredibly soulful, almost jazzy track in the background of these beautiful aesthetic videos. It was Good Days by SZA. I knew SZA, of course, but that specific song, it just hadn't hit my radar like that before. Because of TikTok, I sought out the full track, then the entire Control album, and now she's a staple for me. That wasn't just a 15-second snippet, it was a hook that led me to a whole body of work I adore. Or take something completely different, like Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush. Before Stranger Things, before the huge resurgence, I actually heard snippets of that on TikTok first in some obscure edits. It led me down a rabbit hole of 80s synth pop and new wave that I probably wouldn't have explored so deeply otherwise. TikTok has this incredible way of unearthing gems, whether they're new or decades old, and presenting them in a way that sparks curiosity. And it's not just about popular artists. I found so many incredible independent artists who would have never crossed my path without TikTok. Remember that song Cool Kids by Echosmith? It had its moment years ago, but then this independent artist, JV Key, remixed it with his own unique spin. This is what falling in love feels like. I heard that on TikTok, was captivated by his voice and the fresh take, and now I follow his entire journey. That's an artist who genuinely got his big break because millions of people heard his creativity in a short, engaging clip. It's broadened my musical palette immensely. I've found artists from different countries, different languages, and genres I never thought I'd be into, all because someone's short video used a song that just vibed. It's a low barrier entry to new sounds. You don't have to commit to an entire album. You just hear a snippet, and if it connects, boom, you're off on a new musical adventure. It's like a personalized, ever-updating radio station curated by millions of people, and that, to me, is incredibly powerful for discovery.
Okay, Chloe, I hear your SCA and your Kate Bush moments, and I'm genuinely happy for you, really. But for every one of those magical discoveries, I feel like I've had 10 songs irrevocably ruined for me. It's like TikTok takes a song I might have passively enjoyed, shoves it down my throat repeatedly, and then leaves me with a bad taste in my mouth wishing I could unhear it. Let's talk about the absolute phenomenon that was Oh No by Creepa. Remember that? Or rather, try to forget it. It was everywhere, every single fail video, every embarrassing moment. I'm pretty sure I heard that 10-second clip more times than I've heard my own name in the past year. Now I don't even know what the full song sounds like, and honestly, I don't care to find out. It's just permanently etched in my brain as the soundtrack to awkward moments. The song itself just became a meme, not a piece of music to be appreciated. And what about ABCDEFU by Gayle? That song had its moment, and I actually thought it was quite catchy at first. But then TikTok got hold of it. Every variation, every person lip-syncing it in their car, every POV video using it. By the end, I was actively skipping it on the radio. It wasn't about the lyrics or the melody anymore. It was just a symbol of oversaturation. It just became noise. It's like the platform takes a perfectly good song, chops it into a 15-second snippet, and then puts it on repeat until you can't stand it anymore. It loses its emotional impact, its context, its artistry. Think about Heat Waves by Glass Animals. Beautiful song, right? Then it became the default sound for aesthetic sunsets and dreamy gazes. Now when I hear it, I don't think of anything deep, I just think of overly curated TikTok feeds. It's frustrating because I know it's a good song, but my brain has just created this automatic aversion to it because of the sheer volume of exposure. It feels less like discovery and more like forced exposure until you're completely exhausted. It strips the joy out of listening to music for me sometimes. The moment a song starts blowing up on TikTok, I get this immediate sense of dread knowing it's about to be played into oblivion and become nothing more than background noise for a fleeting trend. It's the curse of virality, I tell you.
I disagree that it loses its soul. It's giving it a new life, a new context. And sometimes that context is exactly what an artist needs to break through. Look at Fleetwood Mac's Dreams, thanks to Nathan Apodaca and his Cranberry Juice. That song, a classic, suddenly found a whole new generation of fans. People who might never have touched a Fleetwood Mac album were suddenly streaming it, looking up the lyrics, diving into their discography. That's not reducing it, that's expanding its reach exponentially. It was more than just a 15-second clip, it led to genuine rediscovery.
Okay, Dreams is a great example of a positive viral moment, I'll give you that. But for every Dreams, there are 20 songs that just become background noise for random skits. My point is the platform's very nature encourages shallow engagement. It's about fleeting trends, not deep dives. How many users actually seek out the full song on Spotify or Apple Music after hearing a clip on TikTok? A lot of them just move on to the next trend, the next soundbite. It's like musical fast food. Quick, easy, but not very nourishing.
But that's where the discovery part comes in. You might hear that 15-second clip, think, hey, that's catchy, and then you make the choice to go listen to the full song. If you don't, that's on you, not the platform. TikTok is the storefront window. It's up to the listener to step inside the store. Plus, artists are adapting. They're creating music specifically with TikTok in mind, knowing that a catchy hook or a danceable beat can be their ticket to virality. That's smart, it's innovative, and it's a new frontier for marketing and audience engagement. Is it innovation or is it compromise? Are artists now forced to tailor their creativity to fit a 15-second attention span?
Are we going to end up with entire albums of just hooks and no substance? Think about it. If every artist is trying to create the next viral sound, does that not lead to a certain sameness, a homogenization of music, where everything starts sounding like it was designed for a TikTok trend rather than for artistic expression? Where's the deep storytelling, the intricate arrangements, the slow builds? It's all about instant gratification.
But that's not true for all artists, Eden. There are still plenty of artists making long, intricate songs. TikTok is just another avenue. It's not replacing albums or traditional listening, it's just adding to the ecosystem. And for independent artists, it's a lifeline. Imagine being a bedroom producer with no label, no budget, and then one of your snippets blows up. Suddenly, you're getting streams, fans, maybe even a record deal. That's a dream come true for so many people who would otherwise remain completely unheard. That's powerful.
It's powerful, yes, but also incredibly precarious. 1 minute you're viral, the next you're forgotten because the algorithm moved on. It's a very fleeting kind of fame. And let's not forget the sheer volume. The algorithm pushes what's popular, leading to a massive echo chamber where you hear the same 5 songs over and over again, drowning out everything else. It's not truly diverse discovery if you're only being fed what's everyone else is already listening to. It's like walking into a massive music store, but only the top 40 are prominently displayed and everything else is buried in the back.
But you can curate your own For You page, Eden. If you don't like what you're seeing or hearing, you can skip it, mark it as not interested, and the algorithm learns. My FYP is full of indie rock, cottagecore folk, and obscure electronic music, because I've trained it that way. It's not just a top 40 machine, it's a highly personalized music discovery engine if you know how to use it. It's like having a DJ who knows your taste better than you do, always bringing you something fresh and unexpected, even if it's just a snippet.
Yes, if you know how to train it, and if you're patient enough to wade through all the other noise. And even then, sometimes it feels like it just cycles back to the same viral tracks. And let's talk about the visual aspect. TikTok is a visual platform. A song's virality often depends on how well it fits a visual trend, a dance, or a specific aesthetic. Does that not influence what kind of music gets popular? Are we selecting music based on its sound or how well it looks in a 15-second video?
That's true, the visual element is huge, but music has always had a visual component, whether it was album art, music videos, or live performances. TikTok is just the modern evolution of that. It's another way for artists to express themselves and connect with an audience. And sometimes the visual context is what makes a song click for someone. It gives it another layer of meaning. Plus, it's fun. You can't deny the joy of seeing a creative dance or a funny skit set to a song you love. It adds to the experience. It doesn't detract.
It adds to the TikTok experience, but does it add to the music experience? I'm not so sure. Sometimes I feel like I discover a song on TikTok and then I try to listen to the full version without the visual and it just doesn't hit the same way. It's like the song needed the visual crutch to be interesting. That's not genuine musical appreciation, is it? It's appreciation for a moment, for a trend.
But what if that moment, that trend, is the gateway? What if it's the spark that ignites a deeper interest? You're setting a very high bar for genuine musical appreciation, Eden. For many people, music discovery is a journey, and TikTok is just one of the exciting pit stops. Not every discovery has to be a profound, life-altering experience. Sometimes it's just, hey, that's a bop. I'm going to listen to it on repeat for a week, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I suppose not, but I still stand by my point that it often leads to a disposable culture. Songs are chewed up and spit out at an alarming rate. It feels like the shelf life of a popular song is shorter than ever because of TikTok. 1 week it's everywhere, the next it's forgotten, replaced by the next viral sound. It creates this constant pressure, this need for novelty, which doesn't allow for songs to breathe or for artists to cultivate a long-term connection with their audience.
I think that rapid cycle is a feature, not a bug, in terms of discovery. It means there's always something new bubbling up, always a fresh sound to explore. If you don't like a trend, just wait a week and it'll be gone. It's a fast-paced world, and music is just reflecting that. TikTok is just meeting listeners where they are. in short bursts, on their phones, constantly looking for the next thing. It's a reflection of modern consumption habits, and artists who adapt are thriving.
Thriving or just riding a fleeting wave. That's the core of my concern. I worry about the longevity and the lasting impact of music discovered this way. Is it truly shaping tastes or just creating a constant stream of temporary soundtracks?
Okay, Eden. I think we've both made some pretty strong cases here. And after all this back and forth, I have to admit your points about the disposable nature of some TikTok trends and the potential for oversaturation definitely resonate. It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
And I'll concede, Chloe, that you've convinced me that TikTok is undeniably a powerful platform for exposure, especially for independent artists. The success stories like the Fleetwood Mac revival or those bedroom producers blowing up are genuinely inspiring. It's hard to argue with that level of reach.
So, in essence, it's not a simple yes or no question, is it? It's more of a nuanced yes and also no. TikTok can be an absolute goldmine for music discovery, introducing you to incredible new sounds and artists you'd never find otherwise. It democratizes the industry in a way we haven't seen before.
Absolutely. The democratization is a huge plus. But the flip side is that while it helps with discovery, it often comes at the cost of genuine, deep engagement. Songs become sounds, trends come and go in a blink, and there's a constant churn that can make music feel less like art and more like fleeting content. It really challenges the idea of musical integrity and our attention spans.
Exactly. It's a double-edged sword, wielding immense power for exposure while simultaneously wrestling with the implications for artistic depth and listener longevity. It's a platform that forces artists to adapt and listeners to be more intentional about how they consume music.
So we can agree that TikTok certainly helps with initial discovery and exposure, but it also creates challenges regarding how we value and consume music in the long run. It pushes boundaries, both good and bad.
And on that thought-provoking note, we're going to wrap things up for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Easy Vibes podcast.
It's been a truly lively debate, and we hope it's got you thinking about your own TikTok music journey. Have you discovered a new favorite artist? Or have you been driven crazy by an overplayed sound?
Whatever your experience, we hope you continue to explore music in all its forms, whether it's through a viral TikTok trend or just stumbling upon something amazing in a dusty old record store. Keep those good vibes flowing.
We loved having you with us. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode, where we'll be diving into another topic that's sure to spark some discussion.
Until next time, stay vibin', and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Peace out.